Hello, Happy New Year. This is the astrology for January 2022. My name is Christina Luna. I never introduced myself, so I thought I'd start doing that. My name is Christina Luna, and these are lunoscopes. They're my astrological perspective on what's going on for the month ahead. This month is going to be a little different than my previous videos because I have created a whole year ahead presentation for 2022, and I'm going to be using a portion of that to talk about January. So this one is going to be a little different. I may follow this model for the rest of the year. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty excited about creating some additional structure for these readings. Before we drop into all of the astrology for January, I just want to talk about a couple of growth things that have happened for everything for life. I am teaching my second astrology class. It is starting officially this weekend. However, enrollment will be happening all through the month of January, but the writing is already started. I already have several people enrolled, and basically, you're getting daily astrology writing with journaling prompts. My whole philosophy on learning astrology is that if you fully study yourself and you study your own natal chart and you understand how to orient from your own personal experience with life and with the transits and understand why you're experiencing it that way, it's an entry point into understanding astrology in a more embodied and tangible way. So I teach a class geared on studying yourself so that you can learn astrology. And I had a class that ran through last fall with great success, with incredible feedback. People have moved on to reading charts themselves, and they understand their family members so much more fully. I've received very, very heartwarming, very, very fulfilling feedback from that. So that has started again, and I am actively enrolling, and I have classes already underway, and the first lecture drops this Friday. But of course, you can always catch the lectures at your own time. They're not recorded live. You can tune into it and then use the information from the lecture to deepen your understanding as you journal each day moving forward for the next 3 months. So if you are interested in learning astrology through studying yourself, there's a link in the description box below so that you can enroll in that program. I have payment plans, and just ways to make it really, really affordable. So do not just assume that somehow this is not within your price range, because I deliberately make it very affordable. And next, if you're not interested in taking the class, but you would like to receive daily astrological guidance, I have a low-cost membership, and that's a new development. I've created a membership space on my website. I already have some members in the site, which is very exciting. It has a visual calendar of all of the transits. You get my astrological PDF for the year ahead included in that membership. So that's something that you can print out. I'll actually show you an example of that. And yeah, so I'll leave you a link for that too, in case you're interested. If you're just here for the astrology, let me go to that. And I'm going to share my screen. So here we are. Okay, so let me just move this a little bit. Okay, so I usually don't do this, but I actually really, really appreciated having this structure when I was doing my year ahead readings for everybody this year. So 2022 is the year. We're not officially moving into the year of the water tiger until February, but definitely it has that flavor. And I'm associating this with the second chakra, with our emotional center, with our feeling of feeling secure and resourced in our bodies. And so I feel that this entire year ahead, we're actually going to be feeling more and more resourced in our bodies. I'll talk about that when I do my year ahead video, which I'm actually going to be recording that live on Thursday, January 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you're around 10 a.m. Pacific, I believe I'll be premiering it on YouTube live. So if you want to subscribe, to my YouTube channel so that you can catch that. I would love to have you live and answer questions and everything else. It's going to be a pretty awesome transmission. I just know it. So I'm actually going to go over all of the energies that are sustained from last year into this year. And then I actually go through every single month. I have channeled the way that the month shows up overall, but then I also give very specific dates and I talk about it for the year ahead. So anyways, this is about January though. So let me talk about January. As January opened, we had that brand new moon in Capricorn. Just to give you like a summary of where things were, the sun is in Capricorn. That means that our focus and attention is on our values, the tangible proof that we're investing our time, energy, attention, and focus into what we value. So we're getting the actual tangible proof that of what we've invested in the last, since Aries season last spring. So that this time of year is always the year of like acknowledging the harvest or what's manifested in the previous year. It makes sense. It's also a New Year's thing, but that's where consciousness is. Our Mercury starts out in Aquarius this January. So it actually just popped into Aquarius at the end of December. So it moves into Aquarius as January begins. I believe that this energy of Mercury in Aquarius aligns us to see how we are woven into this really dynamic living fabric. So, I just had a conversation with my family. We went out to lunch and we were talking about all these incredible synchronicities, like right time, right place, like getting the right intuition, just, being able to navigate through all types of strange circumstances that feel really, really meaningful. And like, if this hadn't happened, then this hadn't happened. And I feel that while Mercury is moving through Aquarius, that's just really, really accessible for us to be able to see that we are receiving the intuition and the guidance to actively participate in the living fabric of reality. And Venus is retrograde in Capricorn. She's doing her thing. When January started out, the sun was at 11 degrees of Capricorn. And so whatever was on our mind around New Year's Day and the new moon on the 2nd, whatever was on our mind during that time, Venus is actually going to come back to that space while she retrogrades by the 29th. Well, even before that, by around the 22nd or so, she'll actually be at 11 degrees. She'll station, she'll sit still, and then she'll move forward by the 29th. So we're going to bring that tangibly into fruition over the course of this month. And the way we bring it into fruition with Venus, it's actually, we just open to receive it. Like Venus allows us to be receptive, allows us to sink things in, to allow things to settle in. And while she's retrograde, we're opening to an even more receptive state. So what are we receiving? We are receiving wisdom around what we truly value, it's like we're receiving the fulfillment of the harvest of what we've been investing our energy into over the course of the year. And so we're receiving guidance based on our desires of what we want to reorganize in our tangible reality so that we can receive even more of that. So that's Venus's experience through the next month. Mars is in Sagittarius as we open the month, and I believe we'll move into Capricorn. I've got those dates. Mars in Sagittarius is definitely asking us to stand behind our word, to act in accordance with what we believe. So there's a strong motivating force with Mars in Sagittarius, asking us to just stand by our word, stand by our truth, stand by the treasure of our accumulated wisdom through the intimacy we have with others and our life. And so that's a powerful force. And I think I'm definitely feeling that energy in a strong way. Jupiter has moved into Pisces now. Jupiter will move through Pisces for this like until April and then into Aries. So wherever you have Pisces in your chart, whatever, like if you know your chart or you're able to access that, there will be a very, very like an exponential opening and awareness to spiritual growth this year, to our connection to our multidimensional selves, to this bigger picture, to the ripple effect of our existence. And so I feel when I was doing the year ahead readings, I was like seeing this pattern, and I'm going to go more into it in the 2022 year ahead because this is just January, but January, you're already feeling this connection. You're already feeling this truth. You're already feeling the expansion of faith. And so that's what's opening. Black Moon Lilith is moving through Gemini through half of the year and then moving into Cancer. In January, she's in those mid degrees of Gemini. And so we're facing fears with Gemini. We're basically facing fears around other people's stories, other people's opinions, our own opinions, and how they'll affect other people. Like this is, it's like we could feel fear or shame around having differing opinions from other people. And that's been going on for some time, will continue to go on. But in January, there's going to be one essential moment around the 9th. Well, I'll just go through the dates. So we had that new moon in Capricorn, and that was a seed that we planted last weekend, the first weekend of January, for pretty much, it was a kind of a bigger picture seed, a bigger picture ideal. And it was perfect timing. We started the new year. So it was sort of like, if I took a look at what I wanted to create this year, like these are my ideas, this is what I want to be more aligned with, more congruent with. So I feel we all sort of naturally attuned to that new moon this year, which I think is pretty lucky because we're such potent creators. It got like the extra juice of that new moon. On the 9th, we are going to have a Lilith opposite Mars square Neptune moment. And the way that I've been sensing this in people's charts is we are going to have to come to a space of we'll face some sort of shame or some sort of repression or some sort of fear when it comes to our opinions and the opinions of others. And we will need to act from our deepest truth. So our behavior, that Mars energy, the way that we show up in the world, the way that we stand behind what we believe, that energy is going to have to hold strong, facing the fears of the other opinion or the even like perceived other opinion. And since it'll be square Neptune as well, it's a moment where we will have this opening to perceive many, many other levels and layers of reality. Like, I think it'll be a very like, in the past, I totally behaved differently, showed up differently. I even had a different truth, perhaps, because of the fear that I'm facing right now, because of the shame I'm facing right now, or because of the repression that I've always had around this issue. But now I can see the beyond that, and I can see how that affected me in the past, and how now that I'm aware of it, I don't need to operate from that space anymore. I can actually be in my integrity with my actions and my beliefs. Excuse me. I might need some water. And face this once and for all for the rest, to change that program in my system. So I feel it will have that opportunity on the 9th. And the square continues with Mars squaring Neptune. So I think that the clarity, once we take action from a space of actually like, I don't have to be afraid of this anymore, then we will actually start uncovering more and more and more of the storyline, the subconscious storyline that got locked in, that is now released and opened due to this action taken. So I don't think that it'll come from inaction. I think it will come from actually taking action to push through the repression or the shame or the fear. So just know that's on the docket for the 9th and the 10th. Then Mercury will retrograde and it will square Uranus. When Mercury is in retrograde, like when it begins to retrograde and squares Uranus, there will be this moment where we will understand that, and I think it's because of this awareness we get with Mars, we will understand that if we are creators, if we are part of the living fabric, then we need to relate to the fabric differently, because our relationship to the fabric and our relationship to our interconnectedness is actually tangibly manifesting in the real world. So I think that we will understand that correspondence, and we'll feel this sort of like pressure to take responsibility for that around the 14th. Then we have Lilith square Neptune. So that energy that we faced back around the 9th and 10th, around the 15th, there's going to be like a energetic release of that. There'll be this clarity. There will be, it's either the situation will persist until the 15th, or by the 15th, there will be this full multidimensional, like multi-timeline awareness of what that fear or shame or repression or resistance was really about. And I think if you create the space for yourself to receive that transmission, I think it will have a profound effect on our lives. And immediately after that, the sun will come together with Pluto, and there will be a full moon in Cancer. So this space where you're experiencing the Venus retrograde, if you're able to locate where Capricorn is happening in your chart, or what temple is bringing, what part of your life that temple is bringing awareness in your chart. The sun conjunct Pluto, full moon in Cancer, is going to bring us to a very vulnerable awareness, a very emotional, a very felt, a very present, a very like I'm very much feeling this right now. Epiphany on like, I can no longer operate the way I used to anymore. I think it'll be like a really big, like, oh my gosh, almost like an end of an era with yourself, an end of an era with a way you related to your resources, an end of an era of the way that you used to think, maybe the way that you related to home, maybe an end of an era of the way you created unconscious things in your life, or cared for yourself on a day-to-day basis, or related to other people, or allowed yourself to be seen, or shared your truth, or like left a legacy or impacted other people, or like even an end of an era of how you reflected on your past. All of these things, wherever I just like went through like the entire like 12 houses with that. But there will be an ending of an era in this moment, and it will be felt tangibly. And I think it will be like so beautifully catalyzing that literally the next day, Uranus will move direct and the nodes will shift into Taurus, Scorpio, and we will start to see it manifest in our reality, like the correspondence between our awareness, our ability, our responsibility as a creator, through our perceptions, through our energy, through our state, through the way we relate, through the story we tell. All of that will actually be tangibly manifesting in the physical world when it shifts over on the 18th. And immediately after, the sun moves into Aquarius and Mars moves into Capricorn. And so we see the illumination of this beautiful tapestry. We see we see and consciously understand how we are interwoven with all the people we share our life with, how every action, every mistake, every choice, all of it has been this beautiful orchestration that has allowed other people to have an experience with us on this planet for their greatest expansion of presence. I think that that's like the end game, is complete and utter presence. And that to me means a whole bunch of things. Like, it's not that you're just not thinking about things. I mean, it's like a very somatic sensation that I think, I'm getting more and more sensations of that. I get more and more, it's a state shift where you're in that flow state and just nothing, there's absolute peace, absolute connection, absolute like openness, like things touch you a different way, your emotionality, like everything is just like, whoa, I feel my life. This is amazing. So I think that around the 19th, we understand how to be even more aware of that tapestry, and it will relieve some sort of anxiety that we've been feeling for a long time. Then with Mars through Capricorn, Mars is preparing to join with Venus, and we'll join with Venus in February and move together with Venus for about a month. This, I believe, is like now our actions and our behaviors are fully aligned with the values that we've completely opened ourselves to be aligned to with Venus's retrograde. And so, like around this time, Venus is even at her stationary degree. So she's at 11, she's in her integrity. We are aligned with our integrity of how we want to be experiencing life and focusing on what we truly value. And Mars is ready to accommodate. So our behaviors are ready to accommodate that awareness that we have. Then when Venus is direct on the 29th, Lilith is square Neptune again. Lilith is pretty much square Neptune this whole latter part of the month of January. So just be aware, like we're like, I think our entire relationship with fear and shame and repression and resistance, our entire relationship with that is about to be, there's like expanded, overhauled. It's like all the timelines will sort of collapse when it comes to what that thing is about. I think there'll be a lot of spiritual awareness around it. So I think I see it as a gate or an entry point. So what you could do is as you're having like fearful thoughts or ideas that feel scary or feel like, I don't know why, I just feel very like I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid to do that. I'm afraid, what if they think this? What if that thing happens? That feels like, especially if it's like a risk reward thing, like, but the reward would be so amazing. I would feel so fulfilled. I would be stepping up. I would be experiencing so much more of what I love experiencing right now. So I just think that's going to be the point, that if you lean into it and you just trust that there's a force in nature right now that's calling you through that gate, that it will give you a different perspective as you pass through it. And you'll do so with a lot of awareness and a lot of connection to your intuition. So trust yourself and know that what we're aligning to in January is definitely finishing that concrete foundation that we're going to be framing our life upon in the months ahead. I see 2020 was a demolition year. Very much we cleared out old programs of victim consciousness and we stepped into our vehicle as a creator. So it's almost like I see like we stepped into this like tractor and we became like the demolition crew, and we also stepped into the role of contractor. And so we cleared out, like I'm like seeing all these like tractors and beep 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 and like all this, and so all this stuff was cleared out and this space was created where there was almost nothing. We had to figure out from scratch, what do we want this to look like now? So 2021 was that time where, okay, what do we want this to look like? So we walked the perimeter, we staked out we staked out the foundation. We, tested a bunch of things. We made sure that the earth under the foundation was sound. We went subterranean. We did some medicine work on ourselves. We we cleared out the foundation stones and made sure that they were something that we'd actually want to build our life on, right? So we had a lot of like thrashing in the middle of 2021. It was kind of a rough period of time for a lot of people. And then once we did the clearing, we started laying the foundation. And I feel that concrete was poured in October, November, December. We staked it out, we poured the concrete, we made any adjustments we needed to make. And this January is a period where the concrete is almost set. If there's any, we are becoming vitally aware if there's any parts of that concrete that need to be readjusted before it fully sets, because starting in March, February is like clearance of the plans. Like February is kind of like, all right, we're going to do this. Let's make sure we get the crew. We attract the team. We understand our role in the bigger picture. And we have like the support systems necessary to build this life, build this house. And then the framing begins in March. So I'm very excited to do, as you can see, I could almost like launch into my year ahead right now, but I did want to, for some reason, I just really want to do it live. It's going to be free. And please just, if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, subscribe to this channel so that you can be present live if you want to. It'll be 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to be, I'm just super excited for it. I could literally like flow into it at any given moment, but I've been preserving that moment for a specific reason. So, there's one more thing I wanted to share with you. I have made my 2022 PDF for the year ahead. I've made this available for purchase separately on my website. This is basically, I've got even more transits, even more dates than I included in the PowerPoint presentation. And I have the events, I have the planets, I have the position, I have the dates, and then I've channeled for every single one of these. I've channeled very specific guidance. And then this year, I also added a question. If you ask yourself these questions during these periods of time, these transits are like ripening fruit. So if you imagine like, okay, this is a ripening fruit. This fruit is going to be on the tree for like this little window of time. If you ask yourself these questions in these windows of time, they're like portals to these fields of wisdom that you can channel anytime. And so I created this specifically for you to be able to tune in, align yourself with the energies, okay, what does that actually mean for me right now in my life? And then you ask yourself this question, and then there's a little space to leave some thoughts. But I have a separate journal that I use to do these activities. So I have this available for purchase on my website. And I want to say that I throw these in for free when you join my membership. So you can either purchase one of these, or you can purchase my membership and get it for free, and also have daily astrology writing and live events and all this private area where I do these little live things on how the energy feels and how it's showing up for me specifically, and then communication with other people in the membership. So it's really, really exciting. It's a new thing I'm offering this year. I hope you will join. I'm going to put all the links in the description box so that you can check it out if you're interested. But yeah, this is a super valuable resource. I included these in my 2022 year ahead reports for anyone who ordered those. In fact, you can order one of those still if you want to. I'll be doing 2022 year ahead readings probably. I sometimes do them all the way into June for people, because it's just valuable no matter what. Basically, it's like the year ahead, but really, really, really specific for you. And it's magic, and I love it. And I feel ultra super fulfilled by this work right now. So anyways, I would love for you to join me on this journey. And I'm just so grateful that I am positioned in the way I am to be able to deliver this guidance for you and for me and for everyone else. So thank you so much. Happy New Year. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Thursday when I do my year ahead live video at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'll have it here on YouTube, so you don't need any special links or anything like that. And I think that's all. Okay. Happy January. See you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. For each of the 12 signs, I'll record a video for each of the 12 signs also this week. So be subscribed. I'll probably get it to you on Friday. So go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Please like and share the video, and I'll get the year. I'll get January for each of the 12 signs out on Friday, I think. Okay. All right. That's enough. Bye.